Welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping straight into a seriously high-stakes framework today, pulled directly from FinFlow Media's Wealth Challenge. We're talking about building an unshakable financial foundation, specifically, forging your ultimate financial shield. Let's get right into it.
But look, before we talk about building wealth, we really need to talk about fragility. $300. Now that doesn't seem like an insurmountable fortune, does it? I mean, it's the cost of a quick weekend getaway, maybe a modest car repair, or just a couple of weeks of groceries. Yet, according to the data in our source material, a single unexpected $300 expense is literally enough to completely shatter the financial plans of most people. Think about that for a second. If a minor financial bump of just $300 is enough to derail a household, well, then their entire financial life is resting on a house of cards.
Okay, let's dive into this. Life is, at its core, fundamentally unpredictable. You can plan every single day down to the absolute minute, but you cannot schedule reality. The source material highlights 3 specific sudden strikes that are basically always looming on the horizon. We're talking a sudden job loss, an unexpected medical bill, or a major home repair. And the thing about these events isn't just that they can happen, it's that statistically they will happen to all of us at some point. The storm clouds are always approaching. The only variable you can actually control is how well you're prepared when the rain finally starts falling.
Because when you face that storm unprepared, the consequences are incredibly high stakes. It triggers this brutal, cascading sequence. Step 1. The unexpected expense hits. Your car engine fails, or maybe your roof starts leaking. Step 2. Because you lack that cash barrier, you're immediately forced into high-interest credit card debt just to survive the week. So suddenly, a $500 problem morphs into a $1,000 problem because of those toxic interest rates. Or worse, Step 3. You are forced into panic selling your long-term investments at a severe loss just to generate cash. Guys, this is exactly how years of hard work can be erased in a single afternoon.
And this brings us to a really fundamental shift in how we need to view our money. FinFlow Media makes a brilliant core argument here. Wealth building is absolutely not just about playing aggressive offense. Yes, investing, increasing your income, starting a business, that is your offense. That's how you score points. But you cannot win a championship without an unshakable defense. If your offense is building the castle, your defense is the moat protecting it from invaders. Without the defense, literally everything you build on the offensive side is entirely vulnerable.
And this brilliantly illustrates our defense in action. The source gives a very strict definition. An emergency fund is a dedicated pool of liquid cash kept completely separate from your daily spending account and long-term investments. And every single word in that sentence matters. Dedicated means it has one job and one job only. Liquid cash means it's instantly accessible. It's not tied up in a house or locked in a retirement account. And completely separate, that means it is not sitting in your checking account waiting to be accidentally spent on a Friday night out.
We have to be crystal clear on the psychology of this money. The purpose of your financial shield is absolutely not designed to make you rich. People often get so frustrated because their emergency fund isn't generating massive stock market returns, but it's not supposed to. Look, you don't expect your car insurance policy to make you wealthy. You expect it to protect you in a crash, right? Your emergency fund is designed to keep you entirely safe. And most importantly, it keeps your long-term wealth strategy uninterrupted. It takes the hits so your investments don't have to.
Okay, so we know what the shield is, and we definitely know why we desperately need it. Now we enter the crucial training phase of this explainer, calculating the exact required size of this financial weapon. You need a highly specific target so you know exactly when your shield is fully forged and ready for battle. Let's break down the math.
Now, the golden rule of thumb in personal finance is saving 3 to 6 months of expenses, but we need some tough love right here. That rule strictly applies only to your essential expenses. We are actively stripping away the illusion of your lifestyle spending. If you lose your job tomorrow, you do not need 3 to 6 months worth of luxury dining out, premium cable packages, or expensive subscription boxes. You need the exact down-to-the-penny dollar amount required to cover your rent or mortgage, your utility bills to keep the lights on, basic groceries to survive, and your mandatory insurance payments. That is your true baseline survival number.
So the crucial point is determining whether you actually need 3 months or 6 months of those essential expenses. It all comes down to your personal risk profile. First, if you have a highly stable, predictable income, let's say you're a tenured teacher or a government employee, a 3-month buffer is typically sufficient to get you through a rough patch. But if you're a freelancer, a business owner, or working in a highly volatile industry like tech or commission sales, your income is naturally spiky. In that case, aiming for a full 6-month buffer is what provides true bulletproof peace of mind.
All right, you've stripped down your budget, you've multiplied your essential survival number by 3 or 6, and now you have your target cash amount. But a major question remains. Once you've actually saved this money, where do you put it? If this cash is our ultimate weapon against life's unpredictable storms, we need to carefully choose the vault where we securely store it.
Before we talk about where it does go, the source material gives us some pretty dire warnings about where you should never store your shield. Never ever lock this cash away in volatile stocks, real estate, or any high-risk asset. Why? Because the value of those assets fluctuates daily. If the stock market crashes by 20% on the exact same day you lose your job and need your funds, well, your shield is broken. On the completely opposite end of the spectrum, do not let it sit in a traditional brick-and-mortar savings account earning zero interest, because then it's just slowly withering away, losing its purchasing power against inflation.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer contrast in strategy. A traditional bank offers 0% returns, essentially guaranteeing you lose out to inflation even though it's liquid and safe. But the designated sweet spot for your liquid cash is a high-yield savings account or a liquid money market fund. This is the ultimate vault. It provides a competitive return that actually counters inflation. It remains highly accessible, you can usually transfer funds within 24 hours, and it's still 99% safe, usually backed by federal insurance. It is literally the perfect balance of safety, liquidity, and defense against inflation.
When you set this up correctly, the psychological shift is just incredible. I want to read this quote from FinFlow Media because it is so powerful. It converts potential financial disasters into mere temporary inconveniences. Think about the profound freedom in that statement. Your car breaks down, it's just a Tuesday morning inconvenience, not a massive crisis that derails your decade-long investment plan. This setup definitively stops the cycle of toxic debt and allows your compounding investments to grow smoothly in the background, completely untouched, all because you never have to cash them out early to survive a rainy day.
Because here's the reality. Life is going to happen. The storm will eventually arrive. The FinFlow Media Wealth Challenge makes it incredibly clear that securing your financial foundation is not something for tomorrow. It's a non-negotiable step for today. You now have the exact blueprint to calculate, build, and securely store your emergency fund. So I'm going to leave you with this final crucial question to ask yourself as we wrap up this explainer. When the unexpected inevitably strikes, will your shield hold? Take action, build your defense, and I'll catch you in the next one.